Alright, this is my interpretation of the Thunderstruck solo by ACDC. It's a short solo. I think it's literally only about 10 seconds, but it's pretty crazy and there's a lot that happens in that time. So I'm just going to go ahead and again explain this to you slowly and just see if I can kind of do it piece by piece for you, and hopefully you'll get something out of this lesson. One of the things right off the bat is you'll hear like some sort of pick slide in the solo, and after just kind of studying the studio recording a little bit, I think the pick slides are actually a layered part, but you're welcome to throw that in if you want, but I'm just going to focus on the actual notes of the solo for this lesson. So what we're going to do is we're going to start in 7th position, and that would be a B minor pentatonic area. So hopefully you know your minor pentatonic scale pretty well, and there's also one up here we're going to jump to at the end. There's some pentatonic stuff that happens up there that we're going to look at too. So those are both B minor pentatonics. So what we're going to do first, we're going to take our ring finger and we're going to place it on the 9th fret of the G and the B string. Now that's kind of a tough bar. Learning how to bar with your ring finger can be pretty tough, so give it some time. But you want to hit those two notes, the G and the B string together, just with your ring finger. I suppose if you're not into that, you can try just hitting it with your first finger. I've seen a lot of people do it that way. Your first finger's a little easier to get that bar happening. But I like to just use my 3rd finger. So we play those two notes. Now our ring finger, it's in that 9th fret area, so we're just going to bounce it up one string to the D string on the 9th fret, and we're going to play that note. So those two notes together, we got the B and G, followed by the D string. And there's a little vibrato there, I believe. Okay, so for our next move, so we just ended here with our ring finger on the 9th fret of the D string. What I like to do is just slide my ring. I'm going to slide my ring finger up now to 9th fret of the A string, and it doesn't really matter where you start from as long as you kind of nail it. A safe place to start from though would maybe be 7th fret. So 7th fret of the A string, sliding to 9th with your ring finger. So let's try those pieces together. One more time slow. Alright, so go ahead and practice that, rewind if you need to. Alright, the next note we're going to play is our index finger on the 7th fret of the D string, with a slight bend. So let's try all that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so after you play that, you're going to return to your ring finger barring that G and B in the 9th fret. A lot of people mistake that part of the solo and they play 9th fret of the D string, but you don't want to do that. You just want to play that bar again there. So all that together. Okay, we're now ready to move on to the next little piece here. So our ring finger just ended on that little bar on the G and B 9th fret. Now we're going to go ahead, and I always call this kind of stuff the Chuck Berry kind of stuff, but your ring finger is going to start out with a little bend on the 9th fret of the G. And it's probably a full step bend, but if you're playing really fast it might end up being more of a half step bend. So what we're going to do is our index finger is going to be waiting kind of ready to go on the 7th fret of the B. So we do that bend with our ring finger, ninth fret of the G, to index finger, 7th fret of the B. Okay, now this is going to be followed by a really quick little run. So let's just see if we can get to this bend first from the very top of the solo. So let's start it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so after we play that, we have a little run that's going to start with our index finger on the 7th fret of the high E. So you just kind of played that B string with your index finger, so you can just kind of flatten your first finger out now, your index finger out now, and just play that high E string, 7th fret. So from that bend. Try that one more time. Okay, so now your pinky is going to take over here for a second on the 10th fret of the B string for a pull off to the 7th fret. So 10 to 7 pull off, pinky to index finger. So from that bend, okay, one more time. Okay, we're going to follow that by our ring finger, 9th fret of the G. So from the first bend. Okay, one more time, slow. A little faster. Okay, now so we just ended here on the 9th fret of the G string with our ring finger. What we're going to do is we're going to put that index finger to use one more time, and we're going to bar B and G in the 7th fret. And we're going to play B, then G. And it's kind of actually cool if you can roll your finger a little bit so that they don't both ring out at the same time. Like that, you kind of want more of a roll. And then again followed by 9th fret of the D with your ring finger. So we, from that bend one more time. Okay, so we're going to revisit that same cliche where we slid our ring finger up from 7th fret of the A to 9th fret. Index finger, 7th fret of the D with the bend. But this time we're going to resolve on the root note, which is a B note here on 9th fret of the D string. So let's take a look at all of that really slow from the bend. Alright, so let's try all the way up to there from the very top of the solo. So remember, start with your ring finger barring the B and G string in the 9th fret. Okay, we're ready to move on to the next piece. After listening to the recording a lot and kind of dissecting what I think was happening, most of this is going to happen on the B string. So your ring finger is now going to be placed on the 5th fret of the B string. And we're going to bend that note a full step. We're going to let it return, pull off to our first finger, our index finger on the 3rd fret of the B string, and then pull off to open B. And it's kind of a quick little move like that. That might take some time, so rewind and practice that as much as you need to. Okay, so this next little run is pretty fancy, and it's going to go pretty quick, and it's going to probably take you a little time to get. So if you can't get it right away, don't get frustrated. Just keep rewinding and practicing this part. But it's going to start with your ring finger again on that 5th fret. So you just did this bend. Now you're going to pluck that 5th fret of the B again 2 times. And this kind of starts you into this crazy run. So you do that same pull off, 5, 3, open. Okay, now our pinky's going to come into play here. And you're going to slide up so that your pinky can grab that 7th fret. You're going to pull off to your index finger on 4th fret of the B to open. So let's just take a look at those 2 parts. So from the bend, okay, so you just went 7, 4, open with your pinky and index finger. You're going to slide that up again, so your pinky is now in 8th fret, index fingers in 5th fret. Again, pulling off to open, so you're going 8, 5, open. I'm going to slide up again, 9, 6, open. Slide up one more time, 10, 7, open. So all of that together. It's kind of hard to hear how it's going to work. It sounds like it won't work, but when you play with the track and you're playing really fast, it sounds pretty awesome. But basically, you know, you just got... Okay? So now your ring finger, after that final pull that goes 10, 7, open. So that was 10, 7, open. Your ring finger is going to land on 9th fret of the G. So all of that one more time from the first bend. And that's going to be followed by your index finger 7th fret of the G to ring finger 9th fret of the D. So one more time, ring finger 9th fret of G, index finger 7th fret of G, ring finger 9th fret of D. So from the crazy bend. One more time, a little slower.